like emotes associated with stuff on. That's cool. Anyway, didn't know that. I actually think I'd forgotten post in Tues-Thurs Discord for a while. I think I missed the first two rune things. Which is my own doing, because honestly, I was so excited, I just wanted to get right into it. I don't know if I have anything to decide that I couldn't have game up for. Audio. Oops. I can't. I accidentally minimized Streamlabs. Alright. So, we're about 30% through the story. I gotta say, I love this music, by the way. This music is so great. It's so good. I'm loving the Viego theme motif that pops up from time to time in like all of this stuff. Like that little like music box sound. 100% in reference to Viego's actual theme. That's how it starts out. Oh, this is revealed. Man, can you imagine if this game actually came out at the beginning of the year before Viego came out? People would have lost their mind. Actually, unfortunately, that is not the case. That is not what happened. But that's how it is sometimes. This game's very fun, though. Honestly, from the very little bit we played so far, it's been very, very fun. Like 8-ish hours. Honestly, I'm just gonna keep going. I can't think of anything else. Because like that's what things are concerned. I'm not gonna lie, I've been slacking a little bit. I didn't get the edit in on D&D VOD until literally like 30 minutes ago. So it's been up for a few hours without the trimming. And you know, it's okay. I also remembered, I was thinking about it, I completely forgot to do this. Well, there's some enemies here, but that's not what I'm referring to. There's a fishing spot here. We didn't do it. We didn't fish.
Death is like the wind, always by my side.
Oh my god, he said the thing! Not bad. Man, I was thinking something, and I was like, I don't know. I've been in such a weird, like state lately. So I'm like kind of all over the place right now. I need to glasses on too. Oh god, do I? Sorry. Takes some time. I gotta get them out and. Alright. The gamer goggles are on. But again, alright, so completely unrelated to what I'm doing, and this will be a thing that we do for a long time. So Game Grumps, right? We're playing Danganronpa 2 right now, which is a good time. I enjoy it. I enjoyed playing the first one. Which are games, the entire series of games that I've never played. I know very little about it. But they seem fun. It's a good time. There's definitely some gripes on writing and stuff, I won't lie. Like, it's not the best written series in the world.
The test of the bull gives wisdom.
There's enough
Costs teeth and blood.
of an enjoyable story going on that I can kind of forgive it a little bit. Personally, I know some people are not like that. There are definitely some people that think the writing is absolutely atrocious and don't want to do anything with it. I think it's okay, but kind of whatever. You can just not really care. catch a fish, hopefully. As I've said in the past, right? As far as this game is concerned, to completely and utterly derail from the conversation that was just about to start. I'm not looking to 100% the game on this playthrough. That is 100% something I'm going to do in my own time. But I am going to try to get as much of it as like I'm not going to sit here and do all the fishing and stuff. That's going to take too long and is a lot of work. I'd rather just do that on my own time. On an extra playthrough afterwards, which I intend to do anyway. I intend to do a few playthroughs. At least 2. But, you know, however many it takes me to get every day. But do everything that the game has to offer. Because honestly, I genuinely enjoy the mechanics of it. It's very, very fun. It's possible I don't have like the right bait. I should do. I have pretty low quality bait. Yeah. I mean, we're not going to see a lot of fishing. I'm gonna do it from time to time, for sure. Especially since, you know, it's how you get like the black market currency. So it's a good thing to do. Probably, assuming the black market has good equipment in it. But I'm gonna have the whole Danganronpa 2 thing. So we're gonna have to play Danganronpa again, and the second one. That's a series that I've wanted to play on here, but I've never actually played it. Obviously, 1 is at a state where I kind of know everything that goes on in the game. And 2 is not, but I enjoy them playing those games too much to just, like, not, well, like, to not watch it, like, genuinely. I enjoy their playthroughs of those games too much. A blue flame frog. Some frogs known for the jumping ability, often trying to catch them with their hands. That's neat. Alright, let's go for one more. I think maybe 2 catches here. It's kind of where you can even catch fish in this area. And the music in this game is great. I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be like, you know, Ace Attorney 1, right? A situation like that where I knew going into Ace Attorney 1 pretty much all of the big twists, right? I knew what was going on. There are like some small details and stuff that I'd maybe forgotten, but I remembered all the major plot points of the trials, so that'd probably be the same case. Good old Danganronpa. Look, I kind of vaguely remember like the big points, but not anything else. Even from the first game, even though like they literally played it like a year, and I've already forgotten like the smaller details. Plus, they're very much just kind of saying screw that, or screw it, and kind of do pretty much just main plot and nothing else. They don't worry about any of like the like friendship stuff, which I 100% would do. So, at least a little bit of undiscovered territory, right? That has got to be a bug. I've noticed it a few times now when the water, like... Yeah. Well, okay. It's probably not a bug, but I've noticed that when the water dips down, right, the lure casts a shadow on the water, which is really funny. Right? Because that's not at all how that works. Bob with the water. Oh, you want that worm? It's a tasty worm! Fish are a bunch of nerds! Do I have any other thing? Yep. Alright, that's we did steal them. I still don't know how to use Brahms Poro. Honest. I'm sure at a later time they'll tell me how to use it. We'll go ahead and we'll just... Oh.
There's death on the wind.
It do be like that sometimes. Sometimes there do be death on the wind.
Looking good.
Yeah. Obviously, right? You know, next up, after we finish this game, we'll start beating it. We're gonna continue back into the Final Fantasy franchise with Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. Hopefully, be a good time. I honestly don't know a lot about Final Fantasy IV. I'm going to assume good things about it, because I have no reason to believe otherwise. So, that's what that is. Nice crit. Nice. Full tentacle power. Server 84. Then we're gonna probably go in 5, like immediately. I can't think of anything else to really do other than that. We'll just go straight into it. So that'll probably happen. Sure. Oh, nice crit alone. And then after 5, we're definitely going straight to 6. I like 6 too much. It's such a good time. 6 is great. And then I don't know if I'm gonna go from 6 straight to 7.
Show them the power of
Now that I actually have 7, I have no excuse to not play 7. So, I'm just gonna rest on it. That's where that is.
Swift, like vengeance.
There's just like 7 is a truth. It's a long time. Right? Like 6 is a pretty long one too. So, I don't know. I actually don't know. But still, you know, it is what the games will be whatever they are. I don't know. There's a small part of me that's like, I don't know why. I've just like been getting a really big urge to play Persona 5. Lore, the Naga speakers. Oh, I know you planned to kill me, and I saw the flask in your bag. I was like, acid. Poisoning me would have been cowardice. I forgive you for your weakness. Wind is howling outside. I can see the mist on the floor. Fight together against the horror. In the morning, Maui has pushed it back, and will apologize and be friends again. Return to friendship is not stagnation. We'll be friends again. Will not forget. Chain. Tell Alawi what you have done to about the Naga. All will come clear. You'll be tested for your weakness. You will apologize to Priestess Kamal Balbani. Used your knife. I cannot imagine what you plan to do to her. She would have beaten you. I know it. The goddess has shown her worthiness time and time again. They said. I vaguely remember what those two were going on about. Oh, you know, just Noxians being Noxians, though.
You dare set foot in my temple?
I'm sorry, what are you?
This temple belongs to the Great Mother Serpent, and no other. Leave or be removed.
Ha! Your goddess abandoned this place. You should have done the same. Now I will repay your insolence with terrible cruelty.
What if we didn't do it? Okay, no, we're doing that. Alright. Oh, you're big. Zatal, false goddess? Powerful bosses often come with more advanced mechanics. Be sure to keep an eye out for buff descriptions and use inspect mode to help strategize against difficult enemies. Chain of Faith. Place 2 stacks of Empowering Faith to self if consumed by false goddess power. Final champion. Play a champion. Earns all debuff stacks to Corrupted Faith. Damages the false goddess. He's doing 4% of her max health as true damage. Interesting. Well, I guess we should probably build up some tentacles, huh? I'm actually going to have Braum start off with that. Now, alright. I'm probably wrong in this. The name Zatal feels very void-like to me. And that is entirely because void champions and void creatures in general all have an apostrophe in their name. Right, so that makes me think that Zatal here is actually a being of the void? Which, like, how did that get here? You know? Let's kind of focus on these. Because I'm noticing that I'm not doing a whole lot of damage. Let's just take the... Oh, poor Braum! Braum does not deserve this kind of punishment. If we allow is actually a pretty good healer. I guess we should put the balance lane so that
Here we go!
in the thing. I guess. Sure.
My shield feels a little heavy.
It's okay, Braum, we got you. Well, actually, have to be tough. Also, just now. Nice, gosh. This dude should hopefully be dead.
Now you'll see my power.
Okay, summoned another one right there. Yeah, because I was a Mistwalker champ. There we go. Risen Goddess. Immune to debuffs and most damage. Only be harmed after receiving Corrupted Faith from the game. Okay. We have 7 stacks of Corrupted Faith? Okay, so the way you... Okay. Okay, I'm understanding now. You fight this boss by fighting the minions, not the boss, pretty much. With every minion you kill... They keep stacking themselves up, and as they have more and more Empowering Faith stacks, you get to do more and more damage to the boss. Okay. That makes, actually, quite a lot of sense. Do I trust in Yasuo to get that? Yes, I do.
The snake has crept in. to the strongest.
Stuns, debuffs.
You are nothing.
You just talk about right 10% in haste by 5 per staff. The Oswald's gonna get absolutely brutalized. You know what? We'll make it so that Braum takes the hit instead.
You are unworthy.
Ooh, that's a big hit. I guess both are still Tempest stacks. We'll power lane just so that it's... hey, we got some nerds again.
I'll never hear the end.
Yeah, cool.
In a while, since I had to catch my breath.
We should be able to potentially push out. Oh no! Braum!
I will avenge you.
I will avenge you too, Braum. So unfortunate. Get your empowering faith. You as well. All of you get your empowering faith stacks. I will have a Lowy use her potion. I use the potion. Minor. Oh, jeez, minor revival potion. Oh. Woo! What kind of damage that is being dealt right now? We'll just do that. Sheesh! Does also have a free shot? It does. Honestly, I might use Sweet.
In and
there's some reason I can see to not go for power. Nice.
Now you get their horns.
Summon a new goon. Yep.
Can you feel the ice?
Okay, just stand behind me on balance.
they won't keep me down.
Don't sacrifice. No! Oh, one thing I didn't want to have ever. I'm gonna hold on to this, I guess. There's really nothing I can do about it. Don't look at the tentacles again.
no more.
We'll balance like that.
Help me up so I can keep fighting.
No. It's getting very dicey. Rom. It's so much damage. Yeah, let's just use the ult on one of these nerds. I did get debuffs going though, is the problem.
Yes, like that. You are my shield.
Which thankfully this does get me back. I think. Maybe? I actually don't know if that's considered a debuff or not.
Wait to be quiet, won't you?
Oh, Brom's dead! Oh no! Oh, that's really bad. Lobby needs health though. I guess I can speed lane it? It's not gonna be very good though. Summon Goon? Alright.
This is mine.
Yasuo.
Now you are in motion.
Okay. That's actually really good. That was a lot of stacks. That was a lot of damage to deal. Yeah, let's see. Whoever gets hit dies.
You okay?
The damage values are just so high right now. Alright, Yasuo. How much does your ultimate do? That's enough, I hope. Someone's about to die. If the boss doesn't die, someone on my side is dead. No questions. Oh yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Thing. Yasuo still has 25 overshield and is dead. That is actually crazy. I think we're gonna be playing from behind for a little bit. Oh, maybe not. But there isn't really a whole lot I can do as a louder. Not die. I guess I just kind of have to pop the revival, right? I mean, only other thing I could have done is maybe use an AoE potion.
Rest.
Yeah. Well, we are officially out of resurrections. Yasuo here. Is that our only group heal?
Very kind.
I guess.
Unforgivable.
Okay. I think this might be a loss. Unfortunately.
More for me.
But there's really not much I can do about it at this point. He's just gonna die. I have no more resurrections.
A little help wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. I don't really have any more debuffs I can apply with Wowie at all, so... That's fine. We have gained knowledge. Reload last save. I think I know. Wow. Oh no, because I should have saved the second time around, right? Maybe. I don't remember how to check. Ah, here we go. Okay, yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, no, we're good. Alright. The lore save too. Okay. What do we cooking? Yeah. Venom. Ooh, I don't have another Venom sack though. I was gonna say I should probably put Venom on a weapon. First, I don't really have a lot of stuff for. You also have, yeah, okay, that's okay. I will actually upgrade the growth window. More stamina, I think, but it heals more per turn. I believe Braum is wearing that. I think it's 12 health a turn. That's honestly not bad for Braum. Let's do this. Try this again. I think I understand what I meant to do.
You dare set...
This temple belongs to the Great Mother.
Ha! Your goddess of death.
Your goddess abandoned. Like, it doesn't make sense for this to be a void creature, honestly. I don't like, why would this be a void creature? You know? Unless we have concussion.
You are unworthy.
And there goes half of Yasuo's hell. Hey. That's not. Let me get this correct. Where it's all debuff. Concussion is considered a debuff. An empowering faith. It is not considered. It's considered a buff, which makes a lot of sense. It should be a buff. Got attack power up this as well, which could actually be very useful. Alright, that's 8 stacks right there.
I will show you the way.
Are we summoning goons? Okay, we are. That's good. Ow. We do have ult right. I think we want to do... The damage isn't really the point of using that. Right, the point of using
Get used to it.
that is for concussion to be applied to everybody. And it'll be a pretty decent amount of concussion as well. 3 stacks of concussion. One goober.
Too slow!
Alright.
My advice, stay down.
Guess we'll build up more Tempest. I guess Brom could do concussion. They won't apply anything, but
Don't worry about it.
yeah.
Save the Poros.
I'll save the Poros indeed, Brom. Oh, goodness. Speed lane. Kill Brom. Summon goons, please. Thank you.
Your goddess is gone.
Bleed and concussion stacks. That's really good.
Almost as good as warm milk.
Brom is almost full. Ooh. So much damage. I guess I'll get it starting on down here. But if Brom gets hit, he's probably dead. Yeah,
In a while. Since I had to catch my breath.
1 HP, huh? Alright, you know what? I really want to use a Lowy ult, I think. Let's do that. Get the crit chance up and get Yasuo in the heal. Because the tentacles will apply a good amount. Then we can heal Brahma pretty heavily with this, I hope. That dude will literally die on his turn. Nice. He also gets the attack power boost. He has increased critical. Like, yeah, just have him do that. I don't know if he'll get to actually do it.
My
He
shield
will.
feels a little heavy.
I need you to put a Poro stack on yourself. Taking a little too much damage here.
Prepare for a lesson.
I just need you to survive. Nice! We also got full combo too. We did it. Only took 2 tries. That actually wasn't that bad. Chipped brass crown. A beautiful crown once worn by the Pulse goddess Natal. Can be sold to certain shady individuals. 6 black. Start to Gorget. Bunch of enchanting stuff. Good, okay amount of experience for everyone. Nice. You did it, Alawi. You cleansed the temple, I guess. With the help of Brom and Yasuo.
Priestess, you bring honor to your people.
Indeed.
I am humbled in your presence, ancestor. Tell me, what has happened here?
Satan, the false one, corrupted this temple. Her defeat has given us clarity. But it was not she who disturbed our slumber. It was a man. Look and see.
I've seen that man before.
He knew of Uruway. lies. He took the heart of this temple.
Gangplank. Why would he steal from the
Would
temple?
come right out and say it. I don't know.
After the temple was breached, our spirits gathered. The false one seized the advantage, preying on our confusion and drawing many to her side.
As one does. Did she help cults work?
Rest now, ancestor.
Yes, thanks to you, we will return to the Mother Serpent's hearth. But heed my warning. We sense a great harrowing to come.
Oh, it will.
Trust in the Mother Serpent.
Unfortunately, it's really just
Only
duck.
she can push back the mist.
Definitely not talking about something that's white. That'd be
Who
weird.
is this man? Gangplank.
He was an old friend, the former
Yeah.
River King of Bilgewater. Sarah Fortune fought him for control of the city. She believed he was dead.
I'm just gonna call him a friend.
Did not expect to find him here. And if he brought back the Black Mist to Grey Harbor, has allied himself with the Shadow Isles, I fear for dark days to come.
Sounds to me like we've got a shared interest in the Shadow Isles. What's our next step?
Go on ahead. I need a moment to pray here.
Well, alright, well, that's fair allowing.
Goddess, how can this be? Why would Gangplank do this?
What do you mean, why would Gangplank?
Your unease pulls me from the Mother Serpent's heart. Why?
I feel like it's pretty obvious why he would do that. They can take control of Bilgewater again.
I fear I have brought a great darkness upon Bilgewater.
Gangplank. Why does this man bring you such dread?
Once I had loved him.
Oh, okay, we are.
He lived among my people, embraced our way of life. That was many years ago. Still, as I watched his ship burn, some part of me mourned. The Buru found him, barely alive, and brought him to me. He begged the Buru to help him take back Bilgewater. But my goddess believes mortals must fight for their own desires. He was only a sad shell of the man I
real
once
game.
knew. So
Forget.
desperate, so weak. I tested him, sure that he would fail. But the Mother Serpent's will is not always clear. The goddess found him worthy. She must have seen something in him that I could not. I gave him what he wanted, sent him on his way to chase his destiny.
What old Genghis Plankus? Doing Genghis Plankus thing. Whoa.
You are a truth bearer. The Mother Serpent guides you. Do not stray from your path, and all will be right.
I suppose.
I must tell Sarah that Gangplank is alive.
Okay, good. We are gonna tell her.
But for the sake of peace in Bilgewater, she cannot know the whole truth. Not yet. I hope I am making the right choice.
Actually, wait. Now that I think about it, we've already had the reveal of the thing. Gangplank and allowing, right? Like, there was a scene with misfortune. He literally said, I know you two were close. What's the map button? That's the... That map took a hot second. I think that was everything in the temple. Aside from, like, fishes. Awesome. So when you return to Misfortune Manor, I don't think I'm gonna head over to the Clario Estate. I don't think I can even go to the Clario Estate now. Oh, I don't know. Get out of the Grey Harbor. Go talk to good old Miss Fortune again. Big turtle monster. Is actually the way I'm supposed to go.
This will be fun, yes?
I am afraid for Braum. America. Come on.
Even Braun gets winded.
Okay, Braum, here's some help. Now you're not winded anymore. I hope. Other news, though, for oddly specific game titles that I kind of want to be playing a little bit. I don't know why. Like, genuinely, I have no clue why. I've had an urge. But I've had an urge to play some old Yu-Gi-Oh games. Like, I'm talking like a Game Boy Advance game that I played as a kid. I kind of want to play it. I have no reason to play it. But I kind of want to.
My cuts took a wound.
Oh, he is
Braum will
playing
help you
healing
next time.
simulator, I know.
They won't keep me.
Look at that! Yasuo doing his job. I'd love to see it.
Like strike from ice throw.
Definitely using a Laui ultimate for healing. So it did also start Baldur's Gate 3 a little bit. And, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
Now we feast.
You know, I think I'm going through, like, divinity problems. Like, the same issue I had when I first started playing Divinity 2 and whatnot, where I'm like, I don't know if I like this. Even though it's not, like, bad, it's just... It's not, like, what I guess maybe it's just not fully what I expected? I don't know. It also doesn't help that, you know, as far as, like, 5e stuff is concerned, like, not everything is in the game yet. Like, it doesn't have all the spells, it doesn't have... I need to go through the shop. But really, going through the shop will be faster. Plus, I could use some of it. I could use it. Oh, jeez, a couple of items. You still shop. Oh, you know, I probably should have cooked the thing, huh? Alright, yeah, we should buy some potions. Some resurrection potions would be quite nice. How much do I have of anything? I wish... Okay, does say. Buy a couple of those. Those are really expensive. That's actually probably it. Okay. I'll buy like 2 of those then. Like... I don't know, that's probably... Go through equipment. Oh, is that a new item? Oh. Oh no, it's like... Increases defense and stamina. I think I'd rather have the regrowth pendant there. Be less damage, but more power. Or more defense. That's fine. Definitely keeping that on there because of the high crit. He also needs incredible crit chance. Alright. Sell item. some of these. I guess I'll sell Doran's Light. Like, I'm not gonna go back to it. I'll sell the ring. I'll keep the necklace. I'll get rid of the. I probably should have kept one of the Doran's rings. Yes. I have opted not to.
Motion is all.
Alright, good chance up. That's good. We also up. Yeah. If for whatever reason people care about the specifics of like a video game, it would have been. It's called Eternal Soul.
Like strike from ice throne.
It's like a super old OG video game, and it's. I mean, it's a game. No, something about it. Like I played it a lot when I was a kid, so. And as a kid, I really like Yu-Gi-Oh. So.
Face truth.
Naturally, I'd play a lot of the
This
Yu-Gi-Oh
makes
game.
me smile.
I mean, you know, but I know I'm like all over the place right now with what I'm talking about. That's just kind of been how it's been for me. Like,
stay
I've just been like mentally everywhere.
Can't slow me down.
I'm sure partially because my classes are kind of gearing up for finals and stuff, so I'm like all over the place with that stuff too. But you know, it is what it is. Okay, we're back on the docks. Okay, look at that. Also, I have no idea if grinding is like a thing in this game. I mean, obviously it is. Like, you can just rest and then respawn all the enemies, like Dark Souls. But oh, I get bounty board stuff. I completed a bounty. I should probably go collect my reward. What did I think? Wait, down here. Ooh. Frame rate dropping. Let's go. Come on. Ready to claim. Protectors. We now have Giffen the Hextech Thief. House Crasher Corbin. He looks like a dude. And the Veil Jumper. How about Yordles? That's interesting. For an unstable Yordle with fancy Hextech pistols. Dangerous critter raided my workshop. Paid off a pair of unfinished experimental weapons. Pistols are extremely volatile, prone to backfire, will cause major collateral damage. Looking for someone to put this squirt in his place. Best sighted in the Warrens. Approach with caution, but make 'em hurt. Okay. Warrens. Someone stole me house. Or houseboat. Massive brute carrying a cannon out with his bare hands forced me out of me floating domicile earlier this week. I'm not partial to getting blown up, but will graciously reward anyone who evicts this squatter. Big Lug is currently set up in my houseboat on the harbor. And level 24. That's a big jump. Bring the blood out of build water? Look at a piece of puree. Ugh, jeez. The rumors of a small figure slipping between the shadows. One second you see him, the next he's gone. Folks in Baron's Rest have been talking it up. But all I know is, want my stuff back. Or anyone who brings this thief pigeon. Interesting. Interesting new bounties on the bounty board. I'm broke, so I'm not gonna worry about shops. So we that's right over to Fortune's Manor, I guess. I believe is just south. Black. For sure we just head this way. Take this to Miss Fortune's Manor, I believe. Yeah. Ride the old lift. And is that a slums market? Yeah, slums market. And then parents were, yeah, and the Fortune Estate is all the way south. Apparently, I missed that. Also looks to be some stuff up this way, now that I can actually probably go this way a little bit. Yeah, we got some lore. The Great Satellite Heist? Or live, you knave, the charm you sold me is not as advertised. Lady's love overpowered her for a week. Since then, her feelings have not transitioned into the kind of long-term companionship you assured me I would see. I've buried the charm in the basement to free her from its effects, but her suspicions turn towards me now, and all is ruined. I'll take payback for this, in blood. Furthermore, I'm taking steps to anonymously inform your targets of the thievery you intend. We're seen anywhere near the satellite vault with the Surmango family. Surmango family will put a bullet through your shiny skull. They fail to do that, I'll do it myself. Your brain should prove fitting reimbursement for my dishonor. Furiously, Count Rangapath of Lylewood Esquire. Interesting. So, fans wanted a magical, enchanted thing to have a lady like him, and it didn't work. Who could have seen that coming? Wow, it's coming. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people. Fate in motion, she said. What's that supposed to mean? The Gangplank is dead, and surely he joined the Black Mist first by his cycle of ambition and self-hatred. That would be accurate. Although, while seeing that guy playing the lute in the background reminds me of... Okay, I'm taking off of hopes that that'll help some of the FPS issues. The FPS is like constantly kind of dipping just slightly. It's not really bad. It's just like jumping between like 58 and 60, which is totally fine. I just want to know if I can get it to stay. Yeah, you better run. I'm gonna murder you just for the sake of it.
Come on, man.
Absolutely no reason to do this. Literally, I have no reason to do this. You know, why not?
Next time, stay out of my way.
But I spent literally several hours the other day. I'm not even joking. Like, an absurd amount of time. In a discussion with a friend about what every League of Legends character would be class-wise in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Ah, you've been expected. Fortune says you'd be back. Head up to the parlor room. From the way, eh? Have to lift it inside second floor? No snooping around. Gonna head in? Yes. Please proceed. There's only like 3 bards in the entirety of 5e. Lead directly to the parlor. I mean, there's bard. It's literally a bard. It's literally in his name. And then there's like 2 other bard-esque characters. So there are some that like mechanically could be bards. Like 3 bards in the entirety of the League of Legends cast somehow. Right? Rakan is definitely a bard. Okay, who's everyone? Like Rakan, bard, one other character who's like very obviously a bard. time. Regardless. I'm gonna go talk to Miss Fortune. It'll be fun. I hope.
Alawi, are you collecting strange men? I see you caught a new one.
Somewhat. It's Yahoo.
We come from Grey Harbor. We visited the temple, communed with the spirits of my ancestors, and they warned of another harrowing to come.
That's
What?
rude.
This can't be happening. Not again. We lost so many.
Oh yeah, Happy
Sarah.
Chaos came up.
Are you absolutely sure? This isn't just some
Yeah,
one-off
like today.
attack.
There is more. Gangplank is alive, and somehow he is behind this.
I gotta play some Guilty.
It's impossible. You know it is. I killed him and sank his ship.
Well,
I'm a busy woman. I
Did
don't have
you?
time to listen to ghost stories.
Sarah, you burned his ship and took his city, but he clung to life.
I don't believe it. I can't.
it's not a matter of
You
if you can or
can
not.
and you
It
must,
doesn't change.
Sarah. He stole the relics from the abandoned Buru temple in Grey Harbor.
How did this happen? How did he escape?
It does not matter how he survived. We must find out what he is planning.
That's not a mystery. If he is alive, he's planning to overthrow me.
Of course.
Whatever his intentions toward you, the danger to Bilgewater is far greater. Sarah, I had a vision.
The goddess sure likes giving you those.
A harrowing is coming, and Gangplank is the cause of it. He has fled to the Shadow Isles, and we must follow.
I can't believe
That's probably not
this.
a good idea.
I spent years planning my revenge. I cleaned up this city and cleared out all the filth he left behind. After all that, now I must hunt down my mother's murderer and kill him again?
Yeah.
Sarah, I...
Out!
She's very angry. Understandably so. But, like, she's very angry. Almost a little unjustifiably, but like, I get it. You know, like, you murdered this man who was a terrible person that caused a lot of problems, and now he's not actually dead.
That could have gone better.
I agree, Brom. That could have been better.
I'm surprised it didn't go worse.
Her hatred of Gangplank is overwhelming. I cannot heal the wounds he left on her heart, but I'd hoped the scars would not be so fresh.
The past isn't so easily discarded.
Yeah.
That woman will cut down
The asshole
anyone who
would know.
gets in her way.
Sarah will play some part in driving back the mist. I have seen this.
Stop.
Oh, we weren't going anywhere, but okay.
If what you say is true, if another harrowing is coming and Gangplank is behind it, I have to protect Bilgewater.
Yeah.
I believe that together we can stop it. The goddess has set us on this path.
All right. But whatever happens, Gangplank is mine.
Of
And
course.
this time, he's gonna stay dead.
That I don't believe.
Now that we are together, it is time. We will face the black mist at its source, the Shadow Isles.
About time. But won't we need a ship?
You
Well,
really
what?
aren't from around here. We can take one of mine.
Are we
But
taking
we're
the
going
siren?
to need a crew.
Hold up.
A very good idea. Brom has recently drowned and does not wish to drown again.
Of course not. Who would
I've
believe
got
that?
plenty of men, but we'll need a good navigator. And without a gunner to man the cannons, we won't even make it out of the harbor.
Sounds like you've got people in mind.
They'll be holed up in the Watchtower district, as usual. Shouldn't be too hard to find them.
All right.
I just hope they're not too far into their drinks.
Well,
A drink or two sweetens the journey. I plan on drinking the whole way.
of course you do, Yasuo.
We'll
That's
share
all
a
you
toast.
do.
To Gangplank.
Literally,
May he die
it's
as he
just a draw.
lived.
That's fair.
Brutally.
I mean, Yasuo is literally the kind of guy that drinks to forget. Misfortune is running the party, roll damage and buffs. Styling herself the Pirate Queen of Bilgewater, Sarah Fortune earns the title by blowing up the flagship of Gangplank, her king who killed her parents. Now, a few years later, she rules Bilgewater with an iron fist. Underestimate her, face a swift and unpredictable opponent, and likely a bullet or two in her guts. Touched abilities. Misfortune has a keen eye for hidden details. With scanning the environment, she can see things that others cannot. The captain used double up for touched ability to hit up to 2 foes at range, doing damage to them and initiating harm. Obviously, right, this time she targets with love tap, she deals extra damage and applies a buff. Many of Misfortune's abilities are enhanced when triggering enemies with love tap. In turn, Misfortune gains a stack of strut, increasing her hit. It allows Misfortune to act with blazing speed. The buff is removed when she takes damage. Interesting. That is basically how it works in League. Watch tutorial. How to use this menu? Sure. Unlock champions will appear in this area. You can add or remove a champion by interacting with their portrait. If the party is already full, you must remove an active champion to replace it. Okay. All champions, whether active or not, will earn XP when completing quests and combat events. That's nice. Each champion has a unique and useful set of abilities. Mix and match your party to find exciting synergies. Honestly, I'm gonna keep Rom. I want Misfortune. We're gonna place our damage dealer with the new damage dealer. We're gonna take some time here to, of course, no Captain Mike. Take a look at Misfortune. Nothing really. Oh, let's shoot a shield. Pose of public. Hey, we have shock and awe. That's nice. That is actual name of her guns. Like, no joke, her guns are called shocking. I'm actually gonna take the fortune. It is like an extra 10% gold, but it's also just like not good stat-wise. Well, let's take a quick look at abilities. Yeah, I kind of figured. Fortunes that have a bunch of upgrades available. So Overcharge Mastery increases haste by 5% for overcharge. Strut every turn, making 5% haste, attacking 5 times. Strut. Second strut also crit. Evasion. That's honestly probably a good one to have, getting the free evasion stacks. Love taps, deals damage. Charge, applies tap. Bonus damage if they didn't already have tapped applied. Pressure tap generates 5 of them. Her active tapped buff in combat when tapped is applied. An additional 15 damage in turn. We'll definitely get the free tap overcharge. This is all damage by 40%, anticipation 10. While it's active, strut is not removed, which is also exactly how that works in League of Legends. The only difference is instead of getting haste, you get movement speed with strut. It's her passive. In actual League mechanics, Portia has her passive strut, where she gains bonus movement speed. I think maybe something else, and then you can use her W, which might be called Fancy Footwork. I actually don't know what it's called, but it'll do exactly that. It makes it so you can't lose your strut stacks when you take damage, and I believe it also gives you bonus attacks. But being hit for the first time while affected by transfer will grant the stack of strut. Reduces damage or increases stuff. Randomly over 2 shots. Ugh. Charge deals bonus damage or additional overcharge. This shit applies like Ignite, dealing 14. Deals an additional damage. Tap. I have a lot to look through, I'm gonna be honest. Alright. 136 damage split over 6. It applies attack of Sunder. Increases the target physical damage taken by 2 per shot for 3 turns. Back to the clock. Adds a stack of strut. So basically, we can play Misfortune. It seems like you can kind of build Misfortune as being built up strut really, really quickly. Or kind of being like a big debuff user of some kind. With like higher damage. Pushes forward targeting ally by a moderate amount. Damage or targeted ally generates 5. Okay. Plus strength into target ally attack power. Peak it, reducing attack power by 8%. Double up. Deals damage to the target and more to a nearby. First target is defeated, the second shot will deal an additional damage. That is also how that works in League. So technically, that right there is what actually happens in. If you kill the first target, the second hit will always crit. We'll just, yeah. Get the first shot kills target, the second one will guarantee crit. Heartbreaker deals damage. If target is tapped, it deals bonus damage and fed and consumes. Increases the critical chance by 24% against target's tap. Sure. Some targets afflicted with tap first short. Target is afflicted with tap heals Misfortune. That's not a lot of health though, so actually I will take the free stun on that. That's going to be a big ability to use in combat. Bullet time. All enemies over 3 hits. Doing 30 damage. Double up. I think we're going to take fancy trade. No, nothing. Shred. Probably Sunder. Right? Instead of getting the free strut stacks. So I guess maybe it would be better to get the free strut stack. Right? We already have quite a bit adding free stacks. Yeah. Sure, why not? Do we have any runes from Misfortune? Yes, we do. So we have the Gunslinger and we have the Bounty Hunter. So this is probably attack evade, reduces recovery time by half on a killing blow. Fighting with 20 overcharge, power, evasion, attack power, haste, attack power. Ugh. This is like criticals chance, Isaac right on crits. You can play Misfortune as like, I mean, I guess you kind of want Misfortune to be a strut machine. You can kind of play like crit fortune, or you can play attack power, like overcharge. We'll do that one. That's probably a weird one to grab by itself, especially this early on. But that's what we're gonna do because that's what I decided. If you don't like it, it sucks to be you, because that's what I'm. 34% completion. Hey, it's already been like an hour and a half. That's crazy. I guess Walker. So we need to assemble Fortune's crew. So we need to get to somewhere else. We need to get to the Watchtower. Go down this way. I see. I just want to see how that works. Right, I mean, we probably have to go down and up or whatever. Down and over. Ooh, long elevator ride. This looks a lot better than some other parts of Guildwater. A Watchtower district for you? It is on higher elevation than some of the slums down below. People down below feel like they're being watched, judged. It doesn't help that Graham has a giant telescope, right? That one of your crew? That's right. This place is on the upper level in the northwest part of the district. He's my navigator. Isabel's on the lower level. He's running. He's a cannoneer and he'll get with devices and get. You scooped up those two, you should be ready to set sail. Be nice to meet more friendly face. Indeed, Prom it will. Lore! Dang wars are bad for business. Thona, blade breakers and the twice drowned got into a battle right in our canal. Boatloads of men each. Captain Fortune's men got the better of the Tues. Dumped a dozen bodies over the side as tribute. Bloody water drove the wharf rats into a frenzy, and razor sharks are still circling the docks. They're thick with bullets, no customers for meat pies. Took my cart back to the warehouse. Thought it was steamed. Can't blame her. Curse this war. Curse this Captain Fortune, folks. Yeah, I wanted to take a look at the journal. Rewards. Aha! Toma Village on the right. Well, the Prom! I was wondering if they had like rewards. Also allowing misfortune. Pike? Huh. I wonder if Pike will be one of our allies at some point. I say this knowing full well that he will. I mean, it was literally in the trailers. I just don't know what it is yet. Like taking orders from no one. Why are you in there? What are you doing? So what are those? Light? Like, is it an inventory item? Answer is yes. Ah, it's a free rune point. That's actually pretty cool. That's for Lowy. Increase the power of heals by an additional 7.5%. Probably good. That or the free tentacle. Like it's something they get in the Kraken fight. Which actually also gives us the attack power mastery print. And something with Bron here. He's got critical defense. Cool. So we're looking for something way up there and down there. Okay. Before we do that, Ingwars are bad for business. Gain. The blade breakers took half of our profits and most of our assaulted meat. I hate those bastards almost as much as I hate Captain Fortune. Oh, I gotta hate Captain Fortune. She's pretty cool. We should go hunting until this all comes together. We get the place. Bring your hooks and spears. I'll be borrowing a couple crossbows. Then go for some smaller prey. Bring them back to the harbor under a tarp. Don't tell the staff where you're headed. Don't want this to slip out to any of the gangs. I'm after us too. Oh.
One of these days, we're going to have a proper government building here.
You remind me of a great warrior queen from the Freljord, Captain Fortune.
Sejuani?
Oh, really? Can she also shoot a bottle from 100 yards?
She probably could.
Or maybe Ash. Unfortunately, that's so nondescript. It could literally be either one. Like it could be Sejuani or it could be Ash. Both are completely valid. They're both. I guess if it's Queen, right, it would have to be Queen Ash. Don't mind me, just going on about random actual League of Legends. They're both pretty cool. Honestly, both Sejuani and Ash. They're pretty neat. Honestly, probably it's one of those regions that's like there's a lot of characters, and none of them are like particularly interesting, but some of them actually are. Phono, the twice drowned, came today. Figured out we started hunting again. ton of protection money and dock fees. Well, then we gave it to the Blade Breakers. They got angry and smashed everything. They beat Kalinani black and blue. It's ring too. That guy got hurt real bad. Can't see or talk. See if I can help him at the barber's as soon as you can. How? Our journal. I don't know how many points I have. Actually, it doesn't really like say. Yeah. Unless it's on the screen, something I don't see. I'm sure we'll get that next reward, dude. Did you hear about Arnie from Rat Town? No, I can't say that I have heard about Arnie from Rat Town. Something tells me he might be a bit of a rat. Look at this giant telescope. I'm going to assume that the person we're looking for is in there. But first, Abe and Thona. I hope you safe the fights between the Blade Breakers and the Tues-Thurs ground got out of hand. I serve on 2 boats for come to your employ. Seen a lot. But the neighborhood is too dangerous. Now, even for me, fights most days. Most house and shop near all burned down. Sorry, I but go. You nice bosses. Be safe. Danny. Thanks. Alright. Let's head inside. One more. Graham? Graham, what happened? Graham? Perhaps he did not have adequate notice visitors were coming. Just let me look around for clues. Well, first let's take his stuff, and we'll read his letters. Chef Torval's cookbook. Prawn Praline. Brilliant. Sweetheart of all the dock workers. I don't know why that was so hard for me to read. Another one of Chef Torval's most famous food, shrimp for dessert. Yes, please. Shell cleaned the head, then removed tails of enough prawns to fill your cooking dishes. None of these are the words that are written. Chop up prawns to be bite-sized if necessary. Sprinkle with salt and mix. Use a bottle of cheap old wine, adding to a sauce pot with a couple cups of sugar. Holding until it is served. Sprinkle some chopped parsley onto the prawns before, then carefully pouring the wine, caramel sauce over the prawns in your cooking bowl. Arrange and pack the prawns so that they're evenly covered in the sauce. Place on a hot oven. Covered, stir often to prevent caramel from settling. Monitor carefully, let the meat gets a lacquered sheen of sugar and then immediately remove. Serve in a bowl. Hot. Thanks, I guess. Just below the bed? Not a lot. Ugh. Those stragglers leading from the bed to the window. Most of his cartography tools navigation apps are missing. Who can have a navigator? Probably someone looking to navigate things? Here's been kicked over. Papers strewn about. Something. Money and gem bags left untouched. Aren't here for money. There's pry bar marks under the wooden pane of the window. It's forced open from the outside. The front door looked fine. They must have dragged them outside the window. Might be something on the other side of the window outside. Okay. Let's take a look. Indeed there is. A signet with a hook on it. Well, he recognizes it. Jagged hooks. Gangplanks gang. It's former gang. Been in disarray since he disappeared. There have been overtures before, but it doesn't open hostility. Perhaps understanding their motivation will give us an innocence over a ransom, so I doubt that's it. It's the best navigator I have. I seriously doubt they'd really hurt him. It's too valuable. I think they can just take him from me. Got another thing coming. Can't keep him hostage. Where to go take him back? Gotta be holed up in their old warehouse. Look at Gong over there. Let's go. Alright. That's a big request. Biggest mission. Wow. Ugh. I don't know why I'm plotting so much. Actually, I have no idea. But honestly, I'm don't get me wrong, I am in love with this game. I absolutely love it. But I am kind of excited to get back into Final Fantasy WoW. Not so much for 4, but more for like 6 and 7. I'm really excited to get into those. I think it'll be a lot of fun. 7's gonna be great. And I don't know if I'm gonna do 7 remaster like immediately after, or if I'm gonna give us time, or what. I do need to do 7 remaster as well. That is on the list. I should have never done here. I agree. You never should have done it.
The Freljord, family is everything. Everyone always together for survival. Here, it is very different.
It is.
People come here from all over the world, and they usually come alone.
But where are the new families? People coming together in a harsh land, gathering around the fire with newfound friends.
You got a lot to learn about Bilgewater.
Fortunately. Bilgewater is, although honestly still just as hostile. Because of all the sea creatures and stuff. Not nearly as forgiving, I guess. As Bilgewater, but as Freljord, right? I mean, because Freljord, like, you have to for survival. What's something else? Chef Torvald's cookbook. Coconut hackfish. Coconut hagfish. Delicious combination. Country fried coconut exterior and chewy rice hagfish underneath. Served with sweet chili sauce or his famous soul sauce for dinner. Prepare your hagfish by cleaning, skinning, and deboning the hagfish. Be sure to rinse thoroughly at each stage and as needed, as the fish exudes a vicious meat flavor constantly. Chop meat into large bites. In a dish, crack 3 seagull eggs and... You know... That, like, never occurred to me that that's a thing. Seagull egg. Like, you don't think about that. But seagulls are birds. So they lay eggs. Damn. That's crazy. In another dish, stir together 1 part flour, 1 part shredded coconut, 1 part hardtack crumbs, a spoon or 2 of salt and pepper. Cook fish chunks in egg and thin, dry mixture, setting aside. Heat a skillet of cooking oil deep enough to fry. Put chunks of oil until golden brown, turning them sometimes. Remove chunks and dry on a cloth. Catfish can be used instead of hagfish if needed. Wonderful. Place of rest for the weary. Never mind. I'm not gonna chat it up too much with random Oh, I mean that is how you get side. Maybe I shouldn't. No, I don't want to talk. I want things. I just want my free money. Oh, look at this, man. Find a silver dragon for every time Gangplank said he was going to fix up this dock. Yeah? How much would you have, huh? Would you have a lot? Is that what you're saying? Think he never fixed it? Well, whose fault is that, huh? Maybe you should have been on the workforce. Yeah, that's right. I made it your problem. Your friend that is strangely docile. Approachable. I see you've met Professor Gilly. She's friendly to any stranger, just not on a razor phone. Found her all alone when she was wee pup. Didn't hiss or attack me. I fed her until she got older. This is the result. And I couldn't get rid of her even if I wanted to. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ah ha ha.
Always finding trouble.
Hi. I'm sorry, were you guys in the barrel?
Another notch on my belt.
Because if so, that's like fine, but... Alright, I broke one of the cells. That's pretty good. Yo, can you not do that? Concussive blow! Thing. Look at that. Tap. What should be like?
Not gonna survive this one.
Somehow, I don't believe you. You know, I don't know why. I just don't. Concussion stacking on everything. Oh no. Oh no. Deals 90 damage. Sure.
Lining it up.
This makes me smile.
It's true. Honestly, worth it though. Actually, I probably should have applied concussion. Be okay. Sure, let's do it again. And stun the one, so that's good.
Unworthy.
Unworthy indeed. Concussion. I'm about to give this man's a concussion. I'm gonna double it up. Look at that big crit
Who's
hit.
next?
Oh, and then applies tap. All of the concussion stats as well. And then! Dang, wrong way to crit that. That's crazy.
That's why I run this town.
Oh. You know, I gotta say. Alright. I know. Hey, new ability, Shield Slam. Does 159 damage and sunders the targets. A ring shard. I never really cared that much about Misfortune. Like, honestly. And a lot of that is, you know, I mean, I talked about it last week, how in... Oh, no, you actually like a fight? How in...
We never stop.
League of Legends, Misfortune is honestly a really bad character. Not her fault. She is a bad character purely by unfortunate circumstance of being just not treated like the character she actually is in war. Because she is just a hot girl with big booba. Literally, that is her character in Summoner's Rift. on good old-fashioned League of Legends. It's really unfortunate because she is really cool. This game is like really making me like really like Miss Fortune because she's really cool. You know, like it makes sense.
That'll teach you.
She's not really played up as that in this game as much as she is in the actual league. So that's always nice to see as well. That they actually treat her like a real character and not just some hot lady with
Feels so good.
an incredibly large chest. It's nice to see Miss Fortune get some respect. Because she is really cool.
Always up for a fight.
We'll try to make sure Miss Fortune doesn't die. Feed concussion stacks on everybody.
Steady on. Thank you kindly.
Ooh boy. Thankfully that cleanses
Feeling better
too.
already.
Actually, kind of forgot that has cleanse on it. Look at our final capped stack in. Everyone is now officially capped. Which means that they can't act until the start of their next turn. When they are untapped, unless you find some way to tap them or untap them through the use of other abilities or effects. I don't think they have any of those.
Easy now!
I have no idea where that came from. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know where that came from. It just kind of happened, you know. Sometimes that's just how it is. Sometimes it just like comes out of you. You don't expect to make holy god be a thing that you just said. But here we are. Yo, why are you all hitting Miss Fortune, huh? What does she do other than literally run this town? Shredder or I mean, Heartbreaker literally is like guaranteed murder on a lot of people.
Got some fighting.
Sure. Nice.
This is destiny.
Ow. First time I what Brom can do. But he can't do this.
Everything's fine. I hope.
So Lowy will get a turn. We get the big double up, guaranteed crit.
Dead and buried.
Ah. Honestly?
Someone get me some help.
Put it back.
I'll get you
Let's
back.
play it. I think it makes sense to do it, right? And then we can just have the final hit in. Ah!
Only the best.
Good job, bro. Some Rosewater gunpowder. There's the level up for everybody else. I think it smells like tentacle each turn and plus whole tentacle. Ugh. Interesting. Champions attacking the target heal for 25 health per hit. Oh, interesting. That's fun. And yes, we got meditate. Target spawns a tentacle each turn. That is not correct. Removes up to 2 debuffs from some. It's a stack of flow for each debuff cleansed. Has no recovery. Wow, I can't believe Yasuo can spawn some tentacles. That's pretty cool. Let's take a quick moment and get some runes. Alawi obviously having... We're gonna get that party heal in. Honestly, I'm gonna give all opposed to the shield free. Then Yasuo over here. Get the increased crit chance. He's got an increase of 15%. Also check the journal, make sure the boards you. We go, no, not inventory. Hold knowledge. I mean, honestly, I'm just gonna open it. Just don't have to worry about it anymore. It's a lot of potions. Honestly, we're probably not gonna use it much. I'll just increase his haste. Okay. So, we have one chest down there, some more notes scattered about. I don't even have misfortune one. Misfortune book.
Have I told you the story of how I found my shield?
No.
You said it involved a mountain troll.
Someone.
Yes, it was a good throw. But the mountain, it was disagreeable. I had to punch it.
Of course you did.
God, those two make a great pair. Honestly, if they don't end up together at some point in the lore, it's a disservice. Like, actually. They make a great pair, those two. Alawi and Rom. I don't know how I missed it. Kona! The Bladebreaker set a new stash. Out by Slimefish Cove. You get this note, hang a red jacket in your window. Lead the twice drowned to the spot. You warned the Bladebreakers. The twice drowned are coming. Probably the bastards will kill each other off. I, Metkov, and the others will be waiting to clean up the survivors and take the loot. Hey. Little gangplank. That's the only important thing they said. Those fortunes are gangplank was born a beaver. Happies. Oh no. I'm sorry, I thought your brother would be able to handle a blade better. He went down fighting. I returned him to the waters and said a prayer to Nagakaboros, like he'd want. I know it's bitter news, but the plan worked. That's why surrounded the blade breakers cut each other up. Bad. Brother wasn't the only one to die. Still have a share of loot for you. Can't make up for anything, but it can help get your family through this war. You've been good bosses to me and good friends. Touch and I'll give you both your cuts. Sorry, back off. Dang, that's unfortunate. Oh god, hiccups. Why does it I swear, I always get the hiccups. At least one time during every stream. It's like, actually. I don't know how or why.
Now you face a truth.
But it always happens. Like, literally, I always do. But I don't know why. Okay.
I break you.
No, you really didn't. In fact, that didn't really hurt very much. If I'm being honest. Bang. Ow. That like kind of hurted me. Oh boy. This Star has his crit chance up. home. We'll take a second to touch it with my hands. Man, the music in this game is so banging. Actually, I really like it. Yeah, it's just so fun. It's a great
My shield
soundtrack.
feels a little heavy.
It's okay, bro. We got you. Don't worry about it. See, look at that. We got you.
Another one down.
Alright, maybe we don't got you.
Don't worry about me. Save the Poros.
A flesh wound.
That's why I run this town.
Indeed. Hey, you got some more stuff. Yasuo in the back getting some experience. Chef Thorvald's cookbook. Forward! I finally convinced Thorvald to let me transcribe some of his recipes. Tips I'm doing. I've been working extra shifts at the kitchen for weeks. Finally, I'll be able to snap open that grumpy crawdad's mind and write something down. I promise not to leave anything out either, as long as I bring him grog at each sitting. I had to sign a contract that would publish the recipes or open my own restaurant until he's dead, or that I wouldn't publish recipes or open my own restaurant until he's dead. But he's mostly lard and smokes like a chimney, so I shouldn't have to win. I have to make sure to ask him for the following recipe: coconut hagfish, prawn pralines, bilge rice, hot brine, serious salsa. I can't wait. Oh, open, open, open. I'm sorry.
Now you face a truth bearer.
Where that shooting didn't actually. What did he do? I don't know. I guess. Unfortunately, Brahmin's
I call on the mother
in
serpent.
serious need of help.
My shield feels a little heavy.
Goodness. Why you gotta do this? What did Brahm do? The answer is nothing. Brahm did nothing. Going for healing.
What a shame.
Honestly, now I'm thinking about it, Misfortune's like a really good combo for Braum. And Misfortune and Alawi with Braum is like really, really good. Right? Because Misfortune has a lot of things like Shredder and stuff that does a lot of hits to stack up concussion. And Alawi, of course, has her tentacles that also stack concussion really, really quickly. So like, you just have a lot of ways to gain concussion stacks. I don't know what you did, Sora, but I hope you're dead. Look at that. We applied so much concussion. Which path I'm going to stun him.
Someone get me some help.
Don't worry about it too much, Misfortune. That's okay. Honestly, these two are probably dead to this. This one double up shit.
Anyone else?
Wave. Big taunt.
Just a minute.
That's fine. crit.
I warned you.
A lot of concussion on everybody. We'll just hit the bomb. I feel like that's probably the most important thing. Ooh, that was a big hit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, bounce line stay behind me is fine.
Don't worry about me. Save the Boros.
I'm hoping that that works out.
Time to
The whole
die.
time. Look at that. So many concussion stacks right there.
Ah, well done.
Even Brom gets
Brom
winded.
barely survives.
You're too kind.
Oh man.
It's good to have friends.
That is actually insane. What am I doing? Double up there.
Not even
And
breaking
that
sweat.
is two dead nerds.
Who's next?
Now it's two dead nerds. I guess. Okay. That's
I thought you'd be strong.
So nearby literally means like in an adjacent position.
Perhaps this place could use some more furnishings.
Got any ideas?
I was thinking perhaps a mountain here and some snow all around there.
Oh, alien mode. Interesting. You know, Brom, as much as I love your idea for that, explain how we're going to build an entire mountain. Crit, stamina, and bonus damage? If I get less damage than that is okay. Or crit, which honestly, like, Yasuo would probably appreciate that ring. But Yasuo's not here. The Brawlers. Damage and haste. Interesting. I'll actually give that to Alawi. I don't think I want maybe Braum? Like I do really like the Regrowth Pendant. Might not be bad. Does a lot of defense. But the free HP per turn is actually fine. Yeah, we'll give it. Why not, right? We probably don't. Oh, I'm so dumb. We're at 1-9. Okay. Actually, okay. We're missing 2? Or we're missing 5 from Watchtower. Which I guess will probably be a bunch from in here. Okay. So we gotta get the navigator, not the cannoneer. The house, but where's Isabel? Hello, who's there? Don't let you kidnap me. Isabel, are you in there? Locked. What are you doing? Stop trying to open the door, I'm warning you. Isabel's me, Sarah Fortune. Captain, I'm ordering you to open this door and rejoin the crew. Exactly what a kidnapper would say. Come on, don't you recognize my voice? Yeah, but what if you're using Hextech TRK-8 Proto Recorder to make it seem like your misfortune? I see through your tricks. I'm not gonna let myself end up like poor Graham. No way. Come, Sarah, let's just break the door down and be done with it. No dice. It's iron barred. We'd have an easier time breaking down the walls. We'll just find another way around. Another way around. This chasm is too wide to jump. But with a sturdy plank, I'd be able to cross. Huh. I don't know. I don't know. Where would we get such an item? Like, where would we find a large enough plank of wood that's sturdy and would allow us to move across this gap? And I'm completely stumped. Like, I don't even know where I would possibly find one. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I haven't seen one before. I guess maybe I have to go help out Graham first? Oh, it's right here. I knew it was there the whole time. I noticed it very quickly. Just to make sure that's clear. Magnum opus. But how many times I play it, this damn song sounds dissonant. Mother wants me to master it, and so I play it over and over, day in and day out. Practice, practice, practice. What Mother always says. Mother, she smothers me, always on my elbow, always criticizing. Again, she says, again. Mother calls me a prodigy, and that is why she insists on perfection. No matter how many times I perform it, it just doesn't please her. She watches from her chair with a slight frown and nothing more. If anything to see her smile just once in the song. I practice until my fingers cramp, until I can't stand straight, until I've perfected this piece. Performed something so exquisite, so flawless, she won't have anything to criticize ever again. I will show her. That will be my masterpiece. What are you, Jin? Probably not, because Jin is not from Rosewater. I know, I'm pretty sure it's from Ionia. Ugh! I'm paying attention. Oh, the River King's blessing. Dearest brother, my dreams are coming true. Adams asked for my hand in marriage. Who could have guessed that a longshoreman's daughter like me could take the hand of a Demacian lord? As they say, anything is possible in Bilgewater, particularly if the River King is involved. I can. You see, to Adam, it was always a wealthy merchant's daughter. The River King is taking care of it. Oh no. His is a good blessing for a wedding. And don't protest. The plans are already coming together. Adam's family will take care of most of it. A portion comes through in inheritance from my merchant father. The River Kings provided that for me too. Problem is, for all Adam knows, I'm an only child. I can't have you at the wedding, and we probably won't talk for some time. If you love me, you'll understand. You have your slaughter dogs, and I have this. Take care. Have fun working with dogs, dear brother. Who's gonna tell her? Who's gonna tell her? I'm not gonna tell her. Somebody should. That's wrong? Interesting. I wonder why that was the case. Ow. Ow. It's like a dead end. It seems that your cannoneer has crafted the perfect trap sound. Isabel may be paranoid, but she isn't stupid. To see a way through. Just need to look closely. Fortunately, it's the party you scanned to activate her treasure sense. While you see hidden paths and useful items. And it's like that one Metal Gear Solid scene. Ari, 9-1. Notes. Only loss against Pike. I'll bring my guns next time I play her. Portions tell something. Sarah, 7-3. Notes. I need to take my time. Everyone else rushes. Even Ari sometimes. Chloe. Notes. Gets distracted easily. They're talking about Boomer philosophy and that'll do it. What, no record? Yasuo, 5-5. Notes. Only plays while drunk. Maybe his record would be better otherwise. Pike, 3-7. Notes. All wins were his opponents forfeiting over fear of their safety. Doesn't scare me. Wrong. 10. Notes. Big guy needs to stop helping his opponents win. So pure. Oh, that is the most Braum thing I've ever heard. Oh, man. For those that don't know what Tues-Thurs is, Tues-Thurs is a game. You can actually buy it. I own it. It's a fun little game. Trade actually like really good quality. It's not super. It's only like $20, I think, like $30. That's like really high quality. But you can actually buy it from the official Riot, the official Riot website. It's actually a pretty fun game. It's a game of memory, essentially. So you have very Demacian-like symbols, so things like swords and shields and like knights and stuff. Ooh, what is going on? The stream has disconnected. Whoa. Okay, interesting. I wonder why that happened. That's weird. I hope that wasn't for super long. It looked like it was only like disconnected for like very briefly. That's really weird. But it's game memory, right? Specifically in the rules, it is specifically stated that when you call out an action, your opponent is the one that does it. And the way you win is essentially, I think it's first to 3 points. You can essentially challenge and call out one stone and ask your opponent to name what that stone is. If they're right, they get a point. If they're wrong, you get a point. Or you can essentially call, I don't remember what it's actually called, but you can say that you know the entire order. You know the order from left to right of all of the stones. Face down stones, of course, not the face up one. And so, if your opponent can then either agree with you and say, yes, I also know all of the stones, and then you can respond back with, no, you don't, and then they have to do it. And if they do, they win the game. If they don't, they lose. Or your opponent, when you call it, they have a few options. And again, they can say they can as well, and then you can either say I believe you or not. They can choose to believe you, and the game continues to play, or they can challenge you and say, no, you don't. You don't understand what's going on. You know nothing. And then you have to name all the stones. And if you're right, you win, and if you're wrong, you lose the game. I think that, or they get 2 points. One of the two. That's how Tues-Thurs is played. So naturally, essentially what that means is Braum helps his opponents by telling them what the stones are. That's what that message, that little letter there, is that Braum, being the man that he is, likes to help people, naturally, right? So he literally tells them what the stones are. Which obviously, like, as far as it's concerned with Bilgewater, I don't know what the symbols are. I could 100% make guesses and assumptions as to what they would be. Also, this puzzle is unbelievably straightforward. So difficult, so puzzling. Questions. Shopping for this dozen corkbird eggs, fresh flour, or good weevil, or not weevils. Saltfish, whatever the slaughter docks wants to get rid of. Corkbird carcass for stock, peppercorns, vegetables, whatever is available. Won't need it anyways. Whale lard, matches, lamp oil, William's heart medicine, rat poison, black dress, wine. Get yourself. Get good wine. It'll be a celebration. Is that also why you're getting a black dress? Seed. only take this one. Fine. Oh, that is not fun. I need to grab the other one. Did I not grab the plank? I did not. But I thought I did. My own fault. Interesting. I need both planks to get across here, and I don't know how I'm supposed to get the other. I will get this. It's a very easy puzzle. I'm actually kind of shocked that it doesn't let me. I'm gonna have to go. You know what? Oh, yeah, I can't go all the way around. I was gonna say I might just go all the way back around, but I actually can't unless it resets the room. But unless there's actually a way to get this that I'm not understanding, it doesn't seem there's a way for you to get that. So, like, I can only grab this one from here, and I can only grab the other one from this side. So unless you can jump it, there's no way for me to acquire both planks. That's the way to jump. Maybe it's a problem. I'll just hold on to this plank. I'll come back across, because I can use both. If I have more traps, just my luck. Click. Nothing happened. I think a little trap maker has run out of tricks. Oh, it definitely did something. Aha! See, bringing that plank with me was a good idea. I'm taking it back. I'm assuming you are. Tara, I'm glad you're here. A couple of minutes ago, a couple of thugs from Giant Hooks tried to get me to open the door. Maybe I've been impersonating your voice. Alright, you're gonna get them? Oh, it really was you there, wasn't it? Yes. Yes, it was. Oh, I'll just go back to the ship now. That sounds like a good idea. Now, we still got one more crew member to find. Let's hurry. The morning storm. Cold water cereal. Got from one passageway. But may as well have stolen breath from his lungs. The gambler saunters towards the sleeping ship, muscles taut with intent. To an onlooker, he must appear as the Titan in spite of his slender frame, striding manfully toward his destiny, trapped in the docked galleon which marred the seaside horizon. Practiced fingers pass cards from one hand to the other as a trio of thugs emerge, eyes aflame. The first brushes the fringe of the gambler's waistcoat as he dodges without effort, a flick of a delicate wrist sensor toppling into the water. Second and third are dispatched with equal ease, barely showing his ascent to the deck. He's close, so close he can taste it. He won't stop. He can't. He breathes mist, or his breath mists the morning sky. Coming for you, partner. Penned by the storm moon. Written note is scrolled below. Raffin, so just stop using that idiotic pen name. Misfortune. I'm assuming that's about Twisted Fate. I have no reason to believe it's about Twisted Fate, but I'm going to assume that it is. Oh, you know what? I figured out the puzzle. I needed that one. Which I probably could have just gone backwards. But but that's okay. I'll just, you know, do this number. Hold on. I hate it here. I made it more complicated for no reason. That's fine. But we do have 2 planks. Where did it go from? Bolt guns! Oh, is that one just like stuck there now? Yeah, okay. That's fine. I'll grab this one then. That way I can get across the gap over here. Or, well, actually, never mind. I don't need to get across anything. I'll put it back down, though, just for the sake. Ugh, frame rate. I mean, you know, how new this game is. I'm not surprised if there's a couple of problems. But they're somewhat expected. Per pistols modified to shoot shrapnel, so typical enemies to bleed. 30% chance on hit the makes the trigger bleed for 9 true damage over 3 turns. Not bad. We could definitely enchant some stuff. If we wanted to. Holy shit. I don't know what I have to enchant on. Lifesteal? Probably not Venom. Maybe. I mean, power is always fine, I think, right? It's just free damage. Haste, crit rating. I mean, crit rating wouldn't be bad either, I guess, but I think it's not what we're looking for. Damage shield. Yeah, we'll just take raw power, why not? Damage is damage. Enchantment success. Pair of pistols modified to shoot shrapnel. Now it has 97. That's good. That was a lot of damage. So we need to go up. Okay. So before I do that, we'll spend. Gonna rest here, and the cost is 37 G's. That's fine. Bang. No animation, no nothing. Unfortunately. We don't even get to see the room. 0 out of 10. Game's garbage. Didn't show me the room that we were all sleeping. All 4 of us. It's fine. It doesn't matter that much. Alright. So, I guess we gotta go up over there, right? I'm good combination. So, Animals Fortune Crew. Could have gone a little bit. Technically part of what we're doing. That's literally what we are. So they're both best for the same thing. This is so stuttery. The Jagged Hook Warehouse. Items come in varying qualities. Common. This is where the Jagged Hooks work out of. One of the places. Not very aggressive. Scrambling to recover some Skankling. Oh, I'm glad I rested. Yes. New conversation.
You should rest.
You are right, Hilawi. Rome will try harder.
You don't seem yourself. You worry.
Yes. For my people.
You are doing all that you can for them. I know you will succeed. Now ease your mind. Perhaps with a story.
Let's see. On the nighttime, it makes me recall stories of... the Voice Eater. A legendary beast that eats people alive, crying out their final words in their own voice. It is said
What?
many in the Freljord have vanished in the dark of the night, chasing after the voices of those they've lost. That is why we have a saying. Do not answer the voices in the dark.
Is that so?
That is terrifying.
Yes, it is.
Well, it is just a story. But you're right. Brom feels much better now. Good night, Ilawi.
Huh. Man, Brom can't sleep. But what does he do to help himself fall asleep? He tells a story about a horrible monster that imitates the voices of those that it has killed. Terrible. Susan suggests that I write down my account and discard it. Give my fears form and let them go. I'll try anything before bad news takes me. The end of a long voyage. A convoy of warships finally home to port in Bilgewater. Last moment a storm came upon us. Battened the hatches. The black swells were tall and icy. The bolts of thunder illuminated the shadow beneath. Giant of the sea, clad in iron. No one else saw it, but I did. Lammer had eyes that burned like coal. When the first ship splintered, a massive hook and anchor was embedded mid-ship of the Gale Runner. It was a sound like a cannonade as the hull cracked wide open. Panic followed, was two more vessels. Those who could still clamber to hook to the longboats and abandon our injured on deck. And then screaming as the waves closed over them. I swear by my only son, I am now married to the land. Okay. I don't hear a lot about Nautilus. That's who that was in reference to. Nautilus. Hello. Well, Bridgewater's on fair fortune of the flesh. What brings you to our humble abode? Where does that some coward took one of my crew hostage? Figures I'd find you a sorry excuse for the crew behind it, Jeff. That ambition, you should know better than to cross me. Well, people know the jagged hooks aren't to be trifled with. Be reasonable and we can remedy the situation. If you've hurt one hair on Graham's head, who says you're gonna even get a chance to see? Open fire! What is that thing? It's like some sort of exec weapon. I don't want to be caught out in the open with that thing trained on us. They're weak without their technology. They have no will to back up their power. All the same, it looks like cover still works. Well, there's that. Might be a way to reach them. Come on. The janitorial robbery. I know reading ain't your forte strength, big man, so read this carefully and slowly. First, break into Janitorio's Jewelers on Whaler Street. Back door, after midnight. Owner lives in the flat above. Be fast about it. Don't need to be quiet. Second, steal something. Anything. We don't care. Literally anything. Steal the doorknob for all I care. Just take something. Break the latch of the window next to the door. Using it to break in and steal the real loot on the next night. And I have share of that loot. Don't. Let's go.
Keep your spirits high.
All right. Multi-wave battle. Next up. This is. First one's a tentacle in each turn and once open. That's right. That's a really interesting ability to have. We can basically force somebody to have tentacles on them. Or essentially, it allows us to focus the tentacles.
Point and shoot.
Bang! Which is great. That's something that we definitely.
One down.
I think we need to teach them what the word down means. I'll leave that one to misfortune. Let her do a double up. Let's put it in the speed lane so it gets done first. Plus she'll get the haste up. Alright.
Anyone else?
Wow.
This
The truth
Strut.
is dead.
How many stacks strut to be? We have 3? Out of, I believe, a possible 5? Let's do a buff pass, that's fine. Bang. And there goes all of the strut stacks.
easy.
Bury me at sea.
-1 stack. Wave, come on. Yeah, we'll just do a simple list here. Doesn't need to be anything too crazy. We're at strut stacks. I guess it's not reason not to be
Let us catch our breath.
balance link for that.
You're
right?
too kind.
Let's see you
I mean, I might as
handle
well just do
this.
There's just so much damage. I love it. Like a couple of them are actually dead.
Like
Let's go.
strike from ice throw.
Back to the drink. No fair.
Nice.
Winter's bite can be unforgiving.
Indeed, Rob. Indeed. Nice. More enchantment gear. Let's do it.
Broken bones teach better lessons.
Hazard sniper fire. Interesting. Maybe the scout first, I guess. Action economy it up.
Now stay still.
Plus 48. In that case. Give this a second concussion. More Braum.
This is
Judgment. Snipe. I would love that. Sorry, Braum. Oh, I didn't do nearly that much damage. Okay. I'm no longer that upset by it.
Sorry.
Just enough pushback to get behind the Lowy. Well, here comes the sun.
Rob's turn.
Nice crit. Bang. Easy.
I thought you'd be stronger.
Ugh. Jeez. Please don't sign me. I do not appreciate getting shot. Let's not talk about that. Apparently it hit, so it doesn't matter. Shielding. That's that's perfect. Honestly, it's actually, you know, this trio here, honestly, great trio. Like, actually, a really good trio to have. Right? Because you actually get a lot out of it, you know? Like, it's really good for bronze concussion. You have 2 users of taunt. Right? So, you can really make sure Misfortune is effective.
Waste of ammo.
It's great. It just works out really well. I think. And so Misfortune can constantly get her stacks up. I like this tree. You got allow to heal, prompt to be like Omega tank. Which will provide everyone with the shields.
Did I break you?
And you have things like that happen, which just feels kind of bad. Yeah, sure, why not?
Stay on.
And why are you focusing her so much? I mean, I said like I didn't, like I actually taunted the dude, but I never did. Let's do that just in case. Get the taunt going. Honestly, we'll defend. Let's let Braun be a tank right now. Go on, man. Big heal.
Back to it.
We'll love that one. Listener.
Who's next?
Even Braun gets winded. My shield feels a little heavy.
Oh boy.
Must be stronger.
Not everyone is worthy.
End of the ride.
Screw it.
Let's see you handle this.
We need the ult. We don't need it, but it'll definitely help. I
Gotcha.
actually didn't kill the Dang, what a huge crit.
Down. Fighting.
I was just getting started.
That was bad. That was really bad. That could have gone a lot better. Of course, it's about to level up. Oh, we got some more over there. Oh my god. I cannot aim.
We never.
Jeez. Oh, we got it though. Ow. Nice shot. That's fine. Tentacle building. Actually huge.
Stronger than you look.
Yep, I saw that coming. We're gonna do that.
I need aid.
That's what you get.
Look out
We'll use
below!
Power. Just so we can get the big shield, get the heal out. Because I gotta make sure that we're all safe. We'll just half, that's fine.
I'll show you something.
Wow, we get attack power right before the heal as well. Great! Unfortunately, there's no way for me to get that. You can, however, do that. Which actually
Fine success.
could perfectly line up. Look at that!
Now we feast.
A little bit of extra help again, I too. Not bad, not bad. And Miss Fortune leveled up. New ability, Guns Blazing. Grants 5 stacks of strut, has no cover. Oh, dang. Okay. Oh. Actually, let's take a quick moment. Yeah, Miss Fortune rune. This is recovery time. Oh. Increase evade by 5%. Also have some bonus damage and stamina. They're both the same. That's fine. Yeah, that's okay. There's less stamina. Probably. Definitely want that on Braum. That's big. More haste, stamina, damage, defenses. And basically it's the same item with more haste. Technically higher, but that's partially because of trade on it. I think Braum's stronger. I think I'm okay with it. Honestly, I'm gonna move the Bonsum to MF to catch up. He's behind me. Behind me. And Braum's ahead, so. Okay. I'll give Miss Fortune her point. Here. Okay, that's Oreo Robber. This night's break-in has me shaking. Obviously a threat, but from who? Or customer? People need to get over themselves. Swindled because they didn't read the contract and suddenly they're all sensitive about it. It's not my fault they're stupid, but now they're threatening me? Look, they want the shop gone. We can have it gone. They have good insurance now. The place needs a renovation. Not misfortunes of men that it was the gang of the former Jagged Hook. Not enough in this part of town. I'd be doing the city a favor pinning it on them. I've moved all the valuables out of the shop and rigged small powder kegs to all the doors and windows. Gonna break in again, they're gone. That seems a bit harsh. I'm not gonna lie. But who am I to tell you what to do? I'm actually okay with it. That's definitely fine with me. Cool. I got plenty of time. It's fine craftsmanship. Apart from the disrepair of the areas around it. There's no cobwebs or dust on it. Might have been recently moved. I would rather climb the ladder. Let's see, probably would be broad and candles and romance novel. Yo, I want to read it. I'm taking the ladder. Not sure where I can use them. I haven't. Oh, somewhere over here. Oh. There's another way to go. I see. That's probably where it is. It's probably where I need the ladder. The other direction I can go. I didn't see there was another way to go. Aha! Yeah, there it is. Place the ladder. Climb them. That makes sense. Oh dang, two of these dudes.
You are safe with Bro.
Pretty big guys too. They don't hurt like super much. That's a lot of health though.
Not so tough.
Yeah, it works. Not a lot. Just in case. I don't like concussion on him. That's why he gets some stats.
Gotcha.
Nice. Shielding for a while. Going to use a heal.
Gotcha.
Nice. Go ahead and stun that guy. think I'll be able to get a lobby to go before. Versus 76 on a normal slam. That might actually be doing something. Yeah. I get a Braum attack in there.
Another bug.
Big hit too, good crit. Easy kill for Misfortune. Took a double up.
Lie down.
That'll teach ya.
Stun.
It's good to have friends. You always show me the way.
Man, this is super dead.
That's the end.
767.
Good friends, good fight.
That would have been the biggest hit yet. And Braum was level 13. Because he's a little bit ahead of everybody. Extra upgrade point, ultimate meter extended. Ultimate meter has been extended, allowing for more powerful ultimate abilities. Combat. And Glacial Fissure, his actual League of Legends ultimate. 145 magic damage to all enemies, it stuns them and slows them. Which is relatively accurate. It's technically a knock-up in League, but what is a knock-up but a slow? Or not a slow, a stun. But also, it does slow in an area. So that's accurate. Like probably 5% for one turn. That's probably good. I do use that a lot, so. Big sacks of concussion. If I was missing. Oh, that's right, yeah, because you can use Braum as like a. Kind of like a barbarian almost. Like a berserker. I guess berserker is probably the correct term. Right. Hi. Never mind. Hear someone hurriedly shoving large objects from the other side of the door. The door is barricaded and cannot be opened. I see. Heard the commotion, came out, saw it was MF, and went, you know what? I don't want to die today. Turn portion of blueprints for a pair of guns. What a message is readable. The second grade. Cool. I think it's good. Say goodnight, Fortune. Corwin, we got her cornered. Will this really be my lucky day? You'll have to excuse my former associates. Captain Fortune, I expect to see you so deep in Jagged Hook's territory. You don't need to be alarmed. We're all friends here. Over my weapons first. My name's Corwin. Seems fate has finally brought us together. You sure, man? I did. I had to be clear about my allegiance. Come on, Corwin. I want to see peace rebuilt water. Build is better than open war in the streets. I think it's nothing without gangplank. I think it's time we embraced your leadership, Captain Fortune. You're just like that, you really need to swap sides? You have to win. I've been looking for an excuse to leave for months now. They're changing. What do you got? Spent my whole life crewing on ships. The best scout you could ask for. That came. I can scourge up some items wherever we land. Also a bit of a day-to-day operation. One of my tasks to keep this warehouse fully stocked with ammunition. As you can tell, clearly that's not. Where's Graham? The guy they dragged in? Oh, I'm straight to the supervisor's office. Have the guarded, but I'm not a part of all that. I've made a decision. So what's it gonna be? I 100% do not trust him, but I will accept his offer. Now we're talking. All you have me do. Ooh, crafting materials or potion? I like the crafting materials. Aye, Captain. I'll let you down. I'll wait near your ship. So good you can. I 100% do not trust Corwin. I have no reason to believe him on anything, and I just. But
I have no fear.
We'll cross that bridge when we cross that bridge. That's how I see. What's the double do? You know what? No, I should apply tap somewhere.
Stand still.
Honestly, speed lane heal for MF is more than enough. That'll work. It's guaranteed 2 people dead. Oh. Never mind. The one dipped out. This is a 3-way fight. I
It's
just
good to feel loved.
Oh, man, I just healed her for all of that. How rude. Stop! Targeted the slot.
Business.
Sure. No tentacles? Feel bad. Crit. We're gonna make sure he doesn't use his. Okay, maybe he will get to use it. Actually, no. He won't. Oh, never mind.
You're done.
I need aid.
Yeah, Lowy, I get it.
Another dead fool.
Just have to use a potion. There's nothing else I can do about that. I can't heal in time.
A little help wouldn't hurt.
Taunt off, like. Just kind of hate, you know? I mean, I guess we could have gone for stun,
That stings.
but good.
I still have more to do.
Hey, I liked that one.
That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Yeah, that's fine. We need to apply tap, so. It's a chance I'm wrong.
Aren't you sweet? I'm wait.
Got a lot of overtime. Not bad. That's just some pretty good damage. Crit? That's fine. That's wave 3. Saboteur! Nice. Ow. I suppose
Now you pissed me off.
the 2D art in this game is amazing.
Was just having a good time.
That'll teach ya.
Where you know, where you having a good time.
Now we feast!
Raffin. Investigation of Planetorio explosion is complete. No joy, I'm afraid. Jagged Hooks didn't do this job. The owner himself, actually. The explosions appear to have come from small powder kegs he rigged on all the doors and windows. Pick up the notes of his previous report. Said an onion was stolen? I don't even took that seriously. Sounded like a botched attempt to case the shop. Turned into insurance fraud. Never triggered the traps, got away safely. Planetorio had no idea how to rig a short fuse. Detained him for risking fire in the city center. I don't know if Captain wants to make an example of this clown. Or probably. That's probably good. I guess we'll try to rescue Graham and then call it. That I think makes sense.
You are safe with Bro.
Based on. We'll focus the Venom Blade. Get this dude out first.
Blade form.
Ah! Nice. Oh, Brom's shield.
Bro's turn!
Honestly, just gonna get the dude out of here. Scout, I guess. They're a bit weaker, so.
Fuse is lit.
Alright, that works.
Another notch on my gun.
Ow. They gotta do that. Everyone always gotta interrupt at like 3 stacks of strut, you know? Well, we will get to heal ourselves. Hopefully. I hope I didn't mess it up and I should put it on the Wowie. Okay, good.
I hate wasting bullets.
Don't we all? Ow. Keeper owl.
You ready?
Do it. Bullet time.
Now it's my turn.
I do a decent amount. Like everyone. That's good. Nice.
A strike worthy of
We'll get the double stun. Ew. Speed lane into the first. Slap that nerd. Now they're both dead. Easy. Set that up real
I
nice.
am a teacher. Build what I will learn.
You know, allowing. I don't think they will. I hate the burster bubble. But I don't think those water will. Leap of Faith. 148 damage to all enemies and max tentacles. Ah. Or actual ultimate. Last breath. All enemies spawns max tentacles. Dang. That's crazy. Deals 261 damage to all enemies over 4 hits and buffs critical damage by 40% for 2 turns. It's maximum stacks of flow. Pretty neat. Go ahead and get the shortcut. Also the way out. There's a chest up there, and it looks like I probably have to go. Where? Oh, chest is like up by. Up, literally up there. Let's not talk about that.
We never
Thrasher and a
stop.
cannoneer, huh? Alright. Could get messy. Well. Maybe not that messy. Whoa! Honestly, just gonna give him the speed lane. Just like to get the heal. Whatever the heal.
Another
Kill.
dead fool.
It'll be very close though. That works.
Gotcha.
Easy battle. The ignite does a lot though, honestly. Chunk. A full kill allowing on that, and then MF and probably a good
Life
chunk
is the
back.
sweetness of fruit and the joy of battle.
Oh yeah, we have upgrade points on. Huh. Probably use them. Let's do that. Yasuo? Guess we'd like to bleed. That's kind of upcharge. That's actually totally fun. That could. Actually, you know, maybe not on sweeping, but let's. Raging Wing. Yeah, give the crit chance on it. And then. Wow. But then the AoE heal reduces mana cost. Right? Let's see. Yeah. That's the That's a magic sunder. Target is ignited or magic sunder. Heal an additional effect. Keeps tentacle. Interesting. Oh, hiccups. I swear. There's something odd under these planks. I think there's a hole on the floor. It's a piece of jewelry someone's trying to hide. Necklace. Sure. Message to the Grand General. Grand General. Arrived in Bilgewater. It was as I was warned. It reeks of gore and washed body. Stench alone would overwhelm lesser folk. Or so I observed Lady Elise and her followers moving. But they did to depart for the Shadow Isles. Interesting. Forrest noted some of Elise's followers seemed on edge, so I took the opportunity to interview. Seemed apprehensive, shaken by the journey ahead. But as soon as the lady returned, he was swept into a reverie like a cat before the slaughter. The vessel departs in the morning, and I have hired a captain to trail them to port. I hope this letter makes it safely to your hands, Grand General. The courier I hired seemed excited at the prospect of working Oxy and Corn. I wonder if that means we'll actually deal with, actually fight Elise. That's
So what's your story, big guy? You don't seem to be from around here.
No, Brom hails from the Freljord, a distant land of mountains and snow.
And you walk around with no shirt on?
Of course.
Brom is iceborn. I do not feel the cold.
This is true.
I've lived on this island my whole life. Never given much thought to what else was out there.
Well, there's a lot.
You must visit the Freljord. Meet our fierce warriors, slay a few trolls. And most importantly, you must try our Druvask stew.
Ruvas.
Druvask stew? I'll bet it's as good as it sounds.
All this talk of the Freljord makes Brom long to return. But not until my quest is complete.
I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. And who knows? Maybe one day I'll finally see the Freljord.
And warm your belly with Druvask stew, eh?
No promises.
Honestly, that sounds like it could be. I don't know what they do, Boston. It could be good. You never know. Cool. Definitely gotta go a little. Alright, we're already decent. Graham! 4. That's enough. Damn. Sit still, Graham. It's almost over. This is your last chance, Jet. Just turn Graham to me and you may yet walk out of here alive. There's my only bargaining chip. Kill me as soon as I... How stupid do you have to be to believe that? I've always been true to my word. Words just don't work on people like you. There's just no way I see it that's ending peacefully. I'm gonna make Gangplank proud.
I have no fear.
Will you though? Will you make Gangplank proud? I don't know if you will. Yeah. Sniper Captain. This is gonna be rough. I can already tell. Good chance up as well. Oh. Stand behind Brom. Whole team got it. That's great. Sure. I don't have a reason not to do that, so let's do it.
Judge!
Nice crit. Ow. Stand behind. Dang. Like all went into one person. Not quite what I was expecting out of that, I'm not gonna lie. Guess it doesn't really matter. That's
Time to teach.
I'll do that. I have my reasons. I mean, my reasons are literally just we're gonna do this. That dude got stunned. Okay.
Too slow.
Love tap up. Now that everyone has love tap, we'll apply some caution. And Misfortune's about to unload the barrel.
Don't feel good.
And here
Now
we
it's
go.
my turn.
Easily murdered Jet.
Another one down.
And easy stun. Well, if I was allowed to stun. Kill everyone up. Yeah, that's fine. Good damage. Good, actually, that should proc concussion.
Bullseye.
Ah, the English style. Okay, that's it. That's fine. I'm okay with that being the case. Well, there's no reason to taunt.
Brace yourself.
And the heal isn't really that important right now, honestly. Yeah. Took a big hit.
Too easy.
Here we go. Nice. So much damage.
Back to the trick.
Only the best.
That was a very easy boss fight. This time it wasn't like a real one. Everything's hand. Nice. But still, that was pretty tough. Or the bloodshed too much. Bilgewater don't know anger you got. Grandma, you alright? Can you make it out? Let's... Here, let me help you with those ropes. Better? See you on the ship. Jet, a delusional fool. Mission with no strength to see it through. He said it, but I don't take counsel, fools. See what's in front of me and call it how it is. He played his hand and he lost. Well, I could track down everyone. The back of the docks. The ship's waiting. Indeed it is. Hey, Westy. I know you never carved up a loogie fish before. Saying I'm still alive for sure. Here's how to do it safe. Clean the outside of the fish. Put the blue goo back in the ocean. Take the sharpest knife the foreman will give you and cut the brain case open with the big chop. Brain now tries to get out. Fights wrestle it. Brain is actually second animal you don't need. You can kill it anytime. Not safe for eating. Oogie fish starts to get very hot. Dump everything in a vat of seawater. Do not breathe steam. Affect organs. Do not breathe steam now either. If anyone breathes steam, you gotta kill them. Remove second animal too. Repeat whole process. Do not breathe steam. You will also get the second animal. Love you, Westy. Please don't breathe the steam. I'll just keep you safe. Okay. I have a feeling I'm not supposed to breathe the steam. I don't know why, though. Look at all this cool stuff we got. Alright. Equipment. Is better? I mean, more damage, less stamina. Sure. Haste and attack power over. Wait. Why not? Pit ring is really more of a Yasuo thing anyway. Can definitely take that one. Some of those things, a bunch of these still. Oh, wow, we got some. No. Not at all, actually. I think we're all good. Alright. Wait. Thought so. Don't you do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Gotta get out of here. Well, we're not quite out of here. I'll go ahead and rest up, and that's going to be it, I think. Take a quick check, make sure abilities and stuff are all good on people. His fortune hasn't moved. Probably do that. Honestly. I mean, we're kind of setting up double tap, or double up, to be huge, right? Which is kind of what I wanted. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. Let me look at this. Do I have any more of these books? Journal. All of the stuff there and there. That's nice. Get rid of the slaughter book, apparently. Oh, that's alright. We're getting a lot of stuff. Go ahead and re-rest. Actually, let's have a conversation. I'm assuming it's just like I can review the old ones. Watch tutorials. Sure. The conversations are available between party members that will show up in this menu. Conversations will just be added for each rest point you discover. That's cool. So that I can just go back and watch old ones. A lot of Braum ones. Not really a lot of Yasuo. Alright, cool. Then I'll go ahead and save. We'll go ahead and get out of here. What are we at now? We're at 9.2 hours and we're like 43% complete with the story? Not bad. Ugh. Jeez. So tired. But there we go. Honestly, a lot of progress. Lots been going on. It was so good. Hopefully there's not too many issues with the stream DC that happened earlier. I'm assuming there won't really be anything that happens with that, so that's at least good. Otherwise, that's all we got for today. We'll be back tomorrow, of course, continuing our Ruined King adventure. And that's right, I'm sure we'll do just fine. We'll probably get through them. We'll probably get through the game probably like next week. Probably be like the end of it, maybe like an extra day or two, or the week after. We'll see. It all comes down to how it's out, right? So, otherwise, that's all I've got. Don't know. As I somewhat mentioned already, there's a VODs channel. All the stream VODs go. Well, not all. The majority of the stream VODs go there. And you know, they're there. 12 p.m. EST the next day, always. Check that out if you want, I guess. Yeah, that's it. All I got. Watch Arcane. Arcane's 10 out of 10. So good. Literally, I have not seen anyone say anything bad about it. Literally ever. Well, I've heard some people say they don't really like the ending too much. Which, I mean, I guess semi-spoilers, it's set up season 2. It is what it is. So it's left somewhat open for a season 2. Which, I mean, I don't know. I didn't mind it. I thought it was fine. I'm sure it's one of those things that, like, when season 2 hits, it'll be a lot better. People will think the season 1 ending is a little bit better when we get. Unfortunately, it's going to be a while. Season 2. But go watch Arcane though. It's great. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Very, very good show. Honestly, easily one of my favorite shows right now. Otherwise, that's all I've got. Until next time, where we'll continue Moon King.